Hello, welcome to Meet the Teacher. My name is Matt Edwards. Sorry I'm not there with you in person, but I have made this video for you. Hopefully, it's very informative, and I'll also make a link available for the slides as well to you all. Again, I'm very excited to be teaching your child this semester, and I'm very excited about the course and the content in Honors Math 3. Um, Again, a little bit about me. I have been teaching. This is my 19th year. I taught my previous 18 years at Millbrook High School just up the road in North Raleigh. But as a resident of Wake Forest and only living a few miles down the road, I thought this last decade of my career, I probably should just work close to home. I'm excited about being at Heritage. I have a younger brother that teaches at Heritage, and I'm also helping out with the soccer program. So thrilled to be teaching now in the community where I live, and I love being part of this. Just want to go through a few highlights and things with our course. So, very important. I want you to feel like you can contact me at any time. Email is the absolute best way to get in touch with me. Don't feel like you're being a bother or anything like that. The more communication we have, the better it's going to be for all of us. So utilize that email address. I'll get back to you as quick as possible. Definitely within 24 hours, but oftentimes way more frequently than that. Also, I do send out a few reminds occasionally. Not every single day. I don't update the kids every single day. I don't want to fill up their inboxes, but at the same time, if there's ever a change in our schedule or something major coming up, I'll send out a remind. So this is a way for you to kind of keep track of that. Attendance is actually automatic in our Google Meets. If your child shows up in our Google Meet, they're automatically marked present. So if they're not there, I have a record of that as well. I have an add-on built in that tells me exactly when they log in, when they log out, how many times they're in and out, all those kind of things. So it's a really neat thing. And if ever there's a discrepancy about them getting marked absent when they shouldn't have, just email me or the student email me, and we'll work through it together. If for some reason you know that your child's not going to be in a class one day, just have them email me ahead of time, or even immediately when they know that happened, and we can work through the attendance piece and the assignments together. All right, you can find our course syllabus two ways. One is in Google Classroom. The syllabus is in the top of the classwork feed in the class information folder. You can just click on that. It's a Google Doc, so you'll be able to open it on any of your devices. There's also a link for that in Canvas. If you go into Canvas and your child's dashboard, you click on your Math 3 class, and right there on that opening page, there's a link to the syllabus as well. Syllabus is where we talk about grading policies, is where we talk about all of our classroom expectations and policies, and everything is spelled out there. But of course, if you have any questions about any of that, just email and we'll work through it together. All right, office hours. Now, this is brand new, hot off the presses, because up until now, when we were all remote, I was doing office hours on Wednesdays. Now, with us being in person, I'm moving our office hours from 6:55 to 7:20 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's before school starts. That's about a 25-minute window before school starts. And we're going to utilize the Google Meet, and the Google Meet code will be Edwards Office 2020. I know it's 2021, but I've been using this all year. That way, I just stay consistent with that. Then, of course, if we need to utilize sometimes on our asynchronous days, which we'll have throughout the semester and next semester, just email me and we could set that up as well. We do have time built into every single class, and I'll talk a little bit about the setup of class here in a second. But we have time built into every single class for your child to ask tons and tons of questions and get that personal interaction and feedback. Google Classroom is our learning management system. Even though we do use Canvas for our unit quizzes and unit tests, the daily work and the lessons and the materials and the resources are all found in Google Classroom. So every single day I have a video lesson, I have a practice, and most of our lessons will have a daily quiz. We call them checkpoints. Not every single one, but most of them will have them. Every now and then I'll bundle two lessons together or something like that. But that's typically how each lesson is set up. A video lesson where they have to take notes, some practice, and everything is due the next day. So even though we're working on it, say today, it's not due until the next day. So they do have time not only to get it done, but also to get feedback on it the next day in class before it actually has to be turned in. All right. If you ever lose your Google Classroom code, like you get a new device or something breaks, you could always find that Google Classroom code in our Canvas page. So you just log on to Wake ID, go to your blue Canvas dashboard, pops up, Math 3 right there at the top. On that Math 3 homepage, you'll see our Google Classroom code. You can get to it there. Our class setup, I talked a little bit about that already with the videos. Really want to make sure that I had a very flexible, almost on-demand type setup for the kids because we work at different paces. We have different learning styles, and I wanted each kid in this remote environment to have as much control over their own learning as possible. So they have the ability to slow down, they have the ability to speed up, they have the ability to interact with me every single day wherever they are in that unit. So I do a warm up every single day. It's interactive. They can write on the screen. I could see their work. They could get some feedback. I could go through it with them, answer questions. Some days they have more questions than others. I wish they would wear me out with questions. So please encourage your child to do that. But that's the interaction that's built in. And then they are in control of their pace of work. So I do have due dates. I do have those things. But I take work all the way up to the late work deadline for full credit. There's no reduction of grade as long as they get that in by the late work deadline. Classwork is turned in for it's just checked for completion. So it's either all or nothing, 0 or in 100. So if your child turns in something and it's not complete or they didn't show all their work, I'll return it to them and they can resubmit that for full credit once they meet all those expectations. There will be notes left for them on that assignment in Google Classroom. Like I said before, tests and quizzes will be taken in Canvas and they will be asynchronous. So we will have a day that we will do that, but the kid will have all day to get that done, not just our window of testing, just so nobody feels the stress of that 1 hour time limit. Video lessons, this is something that I've actually been working on for the last 4 or 5 years of my teaching career because, again, I wanted that on-demand idea. Not every student is listening to me when I speak. It's been a tough thing for me to realize, but the ability to pause and rewind a teacher's lesson is something that I feel like is incredibly valuable for a lot of our students. Many of our students do great in that listening the first time, taking notes, but not everybody does. These videos give them access to my teaching 24/7 and at their own pace, and that's something that I wanted them to have access to. All right. So that's kind of how class is set up. This last slide was for the kids so we can actually walk through an assignment. Have your child walk through an assignment and show you their classroom feed and everything and make sure you know what that looks like and how to get in touch with me. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to email me and check in with me and get any sort of updates. I'd strongly recommend that you have access to Power Schools. I update that daily. Those grades are up to the minute. There's no, he hasn't graded that yet. I get those things done right away. So if there's something that's a discrepancy or a question you have, email me. We'll get back to it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And I look forward to continuing a strong relationship, not only with you guys, but with your students as well. Have a wonderful day.